Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Good Morning Retro, where we talk everything retro besides video games. This is a Retro Rewind Days of Old extra here on Spotify and all podcast platforms. If you're listening to this on Spotify, you'll notice that it's mixed in with Good Morning, or that it's mixed in with Retro Rewind Days of Old. That's so that everybody has content still coming out while we're in between games over on Twitch and switching seasons for Retro Rewind Days of Old. So last Tuesday, I talked about Beyblades. It's a very short episode. This one will probably be another short episode. And so if you missed that, you can go back. That was episode... and what episode was that? 4, 5, 6, 7? Episode 7. This is episode 7. And this episode, we're going to be talking about dial-up internet. I don't know if you remember dial-up internet, but it was before we got, what do they call it now? Oh, come on. Broadband or something like that? Let me see here. Yeah, broadband internet access. So dial-up came through your phone cable. So just here on Wikipedia, just so people get a better idea, dial-up internet access is a form of internet access that uses facilities of the public switched telephone network. It establishes a connection to the internet service provider by dialing a telephone number on a conventional telephone line. Dial-up connections use modems to decide audio signals into data to send a router or computer and to encode signals from a letter to device to send to other modem at the ISP. So it used your phone. The worst thing about dial-up that I remember when I was able to get it now, my family got it when broadband was available, but you can have one or the other, is that one, it made a really loud noise, really loud, how can I explain it? It's like if you're trying to send out a fax from your printer. Makes a loud noise like that. Sounds very robotic, computer-like. Very loud, squeaky noise. And the worst part was when you were using it, as soon as your siblings or your parents picked up the phone to dial somebody, it would cut you out. I remember that so much. It would cut you out. As soon as they picked up that landline and dialed out, it would cut you off the internet. It would just disconnect you, and you would be reconnected when they got off the phone. So I remember using MSN, which is another thing we're going to talk about eventually. MSN. I used to use that like crazy. What was I gonna say? Yeah, you'd be in the middle talking to your friends or searching something up if you had that ability, and your sibling, your parents would pick up the phone and connection gone. Boom. You could be talking to your crush, and things are finally progressing. She's starting to trust you, or he's starting to trust you, and boom, mom picks up the phone to call your aunt. Connection gone. So here on Wikipedia, availability, dial-up connections to the internet require an additional infrastructure other than the telephone network and the modems and services needed to make and answer the calls. Because telephone access is widely available, dial-up is often the only choice available for rural or remote areas where broadband installations are not prevalent due to low population density and high infrastructure cost. So yeah, that's kind of like when you could choose. A 2008 Pew Research Center study state that only 10% of U.S. adults still used dial-up internet access. The study found that the most common reason for retaining dial-up access was high broadband prices. Users cited lack of infrastructure as a reason less often than stating that they would never upgrade to broadband. That number had fallen to 6% by 2010 and to 3% by 2013. A survey conducted in 2018 estimated that 0.3% of Americans were using dial-up by 2017. CRTC estimated that there were 336,000 Canadian dial-up users in 2010. That kind of shocks me, I'm not gonna lie. That dial-up is completely obsolete at this point. But yeah, so they got little clips here. Yeah, they got little clips here of like what each one sounded like, I think. Modem dial-up modems typically have a maximum theoretical transfer speed of 56 kilobytes using the V90 or V92 protocol, although in most cases 40-50 kilobytes is the norm. Factors such as phone line noises as well as the quality of the modem itself play large part in determining connection speeds. Some connections may be as low as 20 kilobytes per second in extremely noisy environments, such as in a hotel room where the phone line is shared with many extensions, or a ritual area, or a rural area many miles from the phone exchange. Other factors such as long loops, floating coils, hair gain, electric fences, usually in locations, and digital loop carriers can also slow connections to 20 kilobytes or lower. Let's see if I can play some of these sounds for you. So this is the V90. Okay, now let's go down further. This was the V92. So and then this one, okay, so dial-up modem noises. Typically noises of the dial-up modem, North America and United Kingdom. Well, a modem is establishing connection with the local ISP server in order to get access to the public internet. This is what I was talking about. So I won't play the whole thing, but that's what I was talking about. That's the noise you would be listening to. So, yeah, dial-up internet. I don't really know too much about it. Never had dial-up for too long. But yeah, that really brings me back. I'm not gonna lie, it makes me feel old as shit. Damn. Yeah, let me know on YouTube in the comments, if you're listening to this on YouTube, if you remember dial-up internet. Let me know if you still use dial-up internet. And if you're watching this on Spotify, or sorry, listening to this on Spotify and all other podcast platforms, leave a good review. That'll tell me if you still use... No, that'll tell me if you use dial-up. I wonder how many people have no idea what dial-up is. Fun fact. Oh, fun fact. So there was an episode. I think the third episode is about Tamagotchis, I believe. I went to Walmart the other day. I got to tell you the story just because I said that. I wonder how many people have no idea what dial-up is, and it made me remember this. So I went to Walmart and I was looking for a Tamagotchi. I was like, I'm gonna buy one just to say I have one still, and I ended up finding them, but it wasn't exactly what I was looking for, so I didn't buy it. When I went up to the person that was working there, and I was like, do you guys have Tamagotchis? And this individual had no idea what I was talking about. Not a clue. I had to explain what it was, and then I got pointed into the wrong aisle because they never associated it as a toy. So yeah, they had no idea what it was. Not a freaking clue. And it made me feel old as shit. I'm not gonna lie. But thank you for listening. I hope you guys have a great morning. If you're listening to this at work, I hope you have a good work day and that it doesn't go too long. If you're listening to this at home, you're lucky because I'm probably at work while you listen to this. Yeah, so remember, you know, think of the old things. Have some nostalgic to it. You know, the good old days were the good old days for a reason. Do some research on dial-up. Just listen to the sounds again. It really brings you back. Also, be kind to others. If you're gonna be an ass, be a badass. Stay retro, everybody.